We very strongly believe in the potential of Africa because the continent has youthful population, whereas the rest of the world is aging. It has rich natural resources, and we have seen countries that are decisive to put in place strong policies and institutions to have good governance, that they can be highly performing, fast-growing economies. We have been a solid and reliable partner for Africa. And when the pandemic hit, was to mobilize swiftly very sizable emergency financing. Country after country benefited from an injection of liquidity. And then we did something historic. We provided our membership with record high special drawing rights contribution. Sub-Saharan Africa, more specifically, got $62 billion injection of liquidity and reserves from the fund when countries needed it the most. I'm not going to say who it was, but I remember vividly, we're in the midst of the pandemic, very high uncertainty, economies are brought to a standstill, and we deliver emergency financing with record speed. Today, we have 25 programs in Sub-Saharan Africa, and a very important, something I'm very proud of. In Sub-Saharan Africa, we have the largest number of our new long-term financing instrument because it is to help African countries deal with climate change. Africa has done nothing to create this problem. Africa is hammered so dramatically by it. So we took an extra effort to be there for Africa.
Sub-Saharan Africa is estimated to have up to $800 billion in debt, and that is growing, probably. Now, you may have injected some finances to different African countries, but how does that become effective when all these countries are still under that heavy burden and they want to borrow because they have infrastructural projects that they want to implement, but at the same time, they need the funds, but also they're short and they're unable to pay?
We have three types of countries in Africa. Those that have access to markets and use this access responsibly, where debt is good because it is invested in growth and opportunities. We have those that have access to markets but have borrowed not so responsibly, with projections for a world that is always growing, and now we see growth is slow, where the issue of debt management, how can we get countries to be on a sound debt management path, is critical. And then we have countries where, sometimes not for fault of their own, that is not sustainable, it has to be restructured. We have put in place a very important three-pronged approach to the liquidity problems, but also the solvency problems we see in Africa.